And now we're questioning that. And so there's doubt. And doubt's a very good thing. But you will feel doubt, and you won't know why you feel it. You won't recognize it as, you'll doubt, you don't know what to believe. Is it this happening and that happening? You'll feel doubt, and you typically don't recognize doubt as a good experience, as a measurement of progress. When we experience doubt, we have a singular way to, a singular kind of narrative, typically, that we talk about internally, think about, interpret doubt, and that it's bad. And that certainty and knowing is good. But in the process of change, which is what you're changing your sense of identity, you're changing your emotions, you're changing your narrative stories, doubt is good. In any kind of, like, this moving into unknown, there's a feeling of doubt. Any kind of change involves some doubt. It's like we're moving into some unknowns, and so we're not going to believe this story. We don't know what to believe. That's doubt, and that's good, because you're moving into the unknown, something that you weren't certain of. You know, when I decided to launch this course, did I know how it would turn out? Do I know how it will turn out? No. So I had this, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go do this thing. We'll see if people show up. And so there was a doubt, but it didn't have a bad feeling to it. It was like, let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. So it's a slightly, when you have a slightly different interpretation of, like, yeah, this is unknown, then doubt comes down quite a bit, and it has a different quality because you've been changed interpretation. And this lends itself to confusion. Confusion is another part of what is progress and a good feeling as you dismantle belief systems. And we typically don't perceive confusion as, yeah, I'm making progress, I'm confused. We perceive confusion as bad. And then our mind goes into a subroutine story of, well, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to believe, where is this coming from? Is this emotion coming from something real? Is it coming from a past memory of an unprocessed emotion? I can't tell. And of course, then the mind generates lots of questions and wants answers. When I see people's questions, sometimes I'm like, oh, good, you're fine. You're in confusion. Here, we'll just gotta give your brain a different way to interpret this new experience of, well, this same emotion of confusion, not knowing what to do, but give you a different interpretation. That's good, because you aren't going to the automatic program of certainty of the ego and character narratives. So doubt and confusion, good feelings. You're like, I don't know. I don't believe my belief system entirely. And I don't know what the next iteration of a mental model for understanding myself in the world. I don't know what my next narrative is, but I'm at least suspending belief in this one. So confusion and doubt. Those are good interpretations of that same feeling. And of course, that interpretation gives you a better feeling than the interpretation that doubt and fear are bad. If you get oh, this is bad, doubt and fear are bad, you have an interpretation of that's bad. You have a bad feeling with the doubt and fear. But if you're like, doubt and fear, that's okay. I'm just going into something new. I'm becoming a new person. I don't know, what kind of butterfly I'm going to be after I get out of this caterpillar stage. Okay, let's go see what that is. So that kind of interpretation is gives you a different feeling about the same doubt and confusion. There's a third one that comes up, fear, and that one may be a little stronger, because the The narrative programs, and if you remember from the webinar, are strategies, even of self-sabotage like procrastination, is there to keep us safe. Jealousy is there to keep us safe. I mean, that's a narrative program. Oh, I got to be suspicious because I have to protect myself. Anxiety. Oh, I have to be careful. This might happen. That might happen. These are all the bad things that happen. I need to prepare myself. Now, what they actually do to get prepared in anxiety, I don't know yet. It's just you're anxious and then you're imagining it happening all the time. But the idea of being prepared helps. You're not surprised. You're not as disappointed. So this kind of strategies, anxiety and jealousy and anger I have in case I need it, all these kind of subroutine narrative programs of emotion and thinking are there for protection. It's a pseudo protection. As I was telling one client, like, she's like, okay, the way I understand it is I've built this whole cage around me and I'm now trapped inside. Yeah. And by the way, your cage doesn't protect you. But we have the belief, or within the character point of view of our ego, the belief is that these strategies do protect me. And so now when we suspend belief in it, we say, okay, I'm going to let these walls down, these protective narratives and all these, I have to do this and I can't do that. We've learned that that keeps us safe. By repetition, by belief. We've been hypnotized. These narrative stories keep us safe. Now, of course, we're not looking at the consequences of the emotional stuff they put us through, the effect of the anger, the jealousy, the insecurity, the anxiety. We're not looking, it's not keeping us safe from that. It's supposed to keep us safe from bad feelings, but it's created its own set of emotions that's now wreaking havoc, and maybe in our emotional body, our nervous system, our physical body has effects after a while. But the idea is there, this deeper level of belief about these narratives. It's protecting us, even though it's an imagined protection from something in the past. And now we're going to take away these strategies. We're not going to believe them. We're not going to live by these stories. We find this other layer story of, but then I'll get hurt. Then my partner will cheat on me. Okay. Then I won't be able to control the situation with my anger. Then I'll be caught off guard because if I'm not afraid, I'll be off guard and then I'll be surprised by something bad. It's like if. So when you let go of these pseudo-looking protective, the illusion of protections within these narrative stories and of these characters of the ego for protection, there's a fear. I am going to get hurt. These bad things are going to happen. I won't be able to protect myself. I won't have the boundaries. I won't. But it's a story of fear. Again, it's the next layer of progress. That and the awareness that, these narrative stories, the anxiety is not protecting you. It's putting you through every time that it's fearful, it's putting you through this scenario and running your whole emotional body and nervous system through what it's imagining is going to happen. Every time you're jealous and you're suspicious of your partner, it's putting you through the worst possible scenario of what's going to happen. You're already experiencing it. In the virtual world of the mind, it's putting you through the worst possible scenarios to prepare you for it. Okay. And saying it's protecting you from it. So those are kind of the lies underneath the lies. And so it's not protecting you. And so there's this lie underneath that A, it's protecting you, B, that it's unsafe to let it go. But you're just getting to this raw layer of fear, which is probably closer to or due to the original emotional event that was unprocessed. Like, okay, we're no longer projecting the future. It's going to happen. We're like, you know what? Let's go of that. Their emotion's still there. Maybe it's there from this unprocessed emotion from the past that I need to let go of. Okay, and that's progress. Because then you only need to let go of that emotion once instead of relive it about every time you imagine the future of it. So that's where, if you're going through a stage of fear, particularly you'll notice fear as you write about it, fears of these changes, fear of letting these stories go. You're going to notice these fears come from the character, the ego characters. As you write about them, the doubts, the fears, that is the character's reaction to now they don't feel safe. They are afraid of letting their guard down. They are afraid of what will happen. You realize it's not your story either, because they're holding the memory and the belief. Okay. So doubt, confusion, fear, considered unpleasant emotions, but if you're looking to get out of the cage, uh, you separate back, you write about, what is this fear really about? What is this confusion really about? What is this doubt? Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Exciting, cool. You can interpret it that way. Let's go see what happens. You know, we're watching the game show. It's like we always want to see what's behind door number 3. What's the surprise? What's the surprise of the movie? What's the surprise of the show? Do you read a book when you watch a movie when you know exactly what's going to happen? It's boring. Okay, but you go because it's fun. Well, now you have real life story, real change, instead of repeating the same narratives and being stuck. But there is a little bit of uncomfortableness, fear, doubt, confusion, and those can be very positive signs. Oh, my characters are doing something different. I'm doing something different than my belief system stuck pattern. And so when you find those emotions and you first go, this might be a good thing. Separate out, write out which characters have this fear, the doubt, the confusion, and go, oh, they want to get back in the cage. They want me to get back in the cage where it's safe and they're by their story and their certainty by their story. Okay. So different ways to look at those 3 emotions, particularly in this journey of changing beliefs.